Hello everyone and welcome to episode 9 of Classic Gamer 74, the very first in the Best of the Atari 2600 series. I'm your host Anthony Ventrello, and today we're going to discuss one of my all-time favorite games, Miner 2049er by Big 5 Software. Miner 2049er is a platform video game created by Bill Hodge in 1982. He learned to program while he worked at Radio Shack. It was originally made for the Atari 8-bit computer, or Atari 800, but was later ported out to several other game systems, such as the Atari 2600, which is our main focus today, and also the ColecoVision and the Atari 5200. The synopsis of the game is that you are Bounty Bob, chasing after Yukon Johan in the uranium mines, or also called the nuclear bed mines. Bob must claim each section of the mine by running over it. A wide variety of futuristic obstacles like matter transporters, hydraulic scaffolds, and jet speed floaters, and radioactive creatures. Amazingly how a lot of these things, except for the radioactive creatures, actually exist today. Back in 1982, Bill Hodge, obviously from working at Radio Shack, had an idea of some things that were going to come someday. And this game did win several awards. In 1984, it won Game of the Year and Outstanding Software Award. It reached number 1 on Soft Cell Hot Lists in 1983 and was named the 4th most popular Apple and 6th most popular Atari program of 1983. A lot of fans do definitely agree with the fact that this is considered one of the best Atari games ever made. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that this game was easy. It was popular, it was fun, but it was not easy. Now, when the game was released for the Atari 2600, it was actually split into 2 separate cartridges. Here is the cover for the original Part 1 of Miner 2049er. And here is the box for Miner 2049er Volume 2. While both games are considered rare, you can actually find the first game for pretty reasonable prices on eBay. But when it comes to the second game, well, that one is actually highly collectible. Here's an ad I found on eBay today, just showing you how much this game usually goes for when it's complete in the box. A cartridge outside of the box usually also goes for around $100. Alright, so let's get right into it. Let's check out the ColecoVision version first. As you can see, it's very similar to the Atari 8 version. In a lot of ways, it stays loyal to that version. You can see how character Bill is jumping around here, trying to cover up those spots, and same time picking up the gear. Now, every time you pick up the gear, it makes those radioactive creatures able to be, consumed, actually, without killing you. So, kind of have to, that's another thing that'll help you get some more points and help it make it a lot easier to clear the board is by eating those creatures. So, there you go. It's almost finished. You gotta watch that time up there. Okay. Now here's the Atari 2600 version. You can see it's the same concept, but it kind of goes its own direction. You don't exactly have the same floors, but it's the same idea of going around and collecting those tools and eating the creatures and walking over every part of the floors, every part of the level. Now, it doesn't move as quickly as the other game, as the original, as the Atari 8 or the ColecoVision version, but it's just as challenging. That elevator shaft you see there, while it won't kill you, it can make it very difficult for you to cover all the areas. Also, like I said in the last, in the Coleco game, watch that timer up there because you only have so much fresh air in the mines, so be careful of that and try to get everything done before time runs out. Mineshaft always gets in the way. And this is just the first level. So you kind of have to figure out where you can stand without sliding down. Which part of the shaft. See? So you figured out that very first spot there is the spot that will send you back to the bottom. Luckily, falling down the shafts doesn't kill you. It just can be a big inconvenience. The first 2 floors are covered. Now we got floors 3 and 4, and we got 3 of those radioactive animals up there. It takes strategy. I'll warn you ahead of time too. It is very difficult, if not impossible, to jump over those animals. You kind of got to get them right away, just like that. And you have a short amount of time in which they become edible, so you got to run and grab them. But like I said, do not even try to jump over them because it will not work. It does on the Atari 8 version, you know, the original, and it does in the Coleco, but it does not in the Atari, which makes the game all that more challenging. Like the game wasn't challenging enough. Cover that last. I got rid of that creature. Now all I gotta do is fill in the spots. And I'm running out of time. Almost out of fresh air. Plus it's a mine of uranium and radioactive stuff, so probably not the smartest idea, but you know, you are a Canadian Mountie, and you gotta get Yukon Johan, so you gotta do it. There's no way to stop on the way down. And remember, this is just the first board. So you kind of have to plan ahead of time a strategy, you know, of ways to get all the areas covered in the amount of time you have. So it kind of pays to plan ahead. And there we got it. Alright. Now this is volume 2. As you can see, it's kind of the same concept, except in this game you have the hydraulic lift, which at the time was very revolutionary. You can see some of the other parts of the game. Right there, the upcoming levels. Like I said, the game was so intense and just had so much data that they actually had to split it into 2 separate video games. Lift, you move over with it. And it takes a couple times getting used to it because the game is not as easy as the first one was. As a matter of fact, this game is a whole lot harder than the first Miner 2049er. So if you are able to master the first game, you are really in for a challenge with the second game. Which I think is the appeal of this game and why it has been so popular over the years and has maintained its popularity, because the game is difficult yet fun. It's not too difficult that you're not going to be able to beat it, but it's not going to be a game that you beat overnight. It's going to take you a while. Which is, you know, what you want. Who wants to beat a game in one night? Now we're going to use the hydraulic lift to get up there. It takes a little getting used to because it's not an easy concept. And there we go, lifting the lift. And again, it's interesting because back in 1982, these things like hydraulic lifts were considered futuristic, and you know, we have them all over the place now. It's like they say, today's science fiction is tomorrow's science fact. Alright, so can Bill complete the level and move on and eventually catch Johann? Well, let's find out. Or actually, you find out when you play the game yourself. If you'd like to try Miner 2049er or Miner 2049er Volume 2 yourself, or play some of those old Atari games that you used to enjoy as a child or in your younger years, head over to AtariAge.com where you can find anything and all things to fulfill your Atari needs. Well, that concludes this episode of Classic Gamer 74. I hope everyone enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And click that little bell icon so you will be notified when the next video comes around. Thank you all for stopping by, and until next time, everyone have a blessed day.